Hey, what's up? It's DTM. Sorry about the lighting in this place. This is the lighting in full in this room. But anyways, it's going to be good enough for the information that should come through here, the DTM. This is the video. I was just talking to my buddy, talking to my cousin. I talk to people all day about health. And, there's a world out there of people that just, they're really working, or they're not working at all on figuring out how to, procure some information that may help them to get healthier, or some inspiration, really. Because you don't really want to wait till it's gone too far before you start getting on track with your health. So that's why I recommend these raw living foods. The plant-based diet is going to make a huge difference, because what you've got is nature. And all these artificial foodstuffs and stuff, what you have is the introduction of like genetically modified foods, which wreak havoc on the GI tract. And then you've got all the grains that just bloat you out and stick you up. And then you got the meat, which is excessively stimulating and leaves a lot of different acids behind, and can leave a lot of different residues that putrefy. And the cooked fats just clog up your blood vessels, and then you lose your hair, and your hair goes gray, and you get mineral deficiencies, and it clogs up your liver. So what does that leave us? Again, the same old message that I've always been talking about before, trying to really help the world as much as I can to eat as much plant-based foods. And I've been a little bit intense on the raw. Myself, personally, I'm 100%. That's how I roll. Everything that goes into my body is really has its living potential. It has the living water and the living minerals and the living fiber. And I recommend that. That's why we eat the salads, we have the smoothies, we use the juices for therapy, and we soak the nuts and seeds, and we culturize them to, activate the absorption, to maximize the potential for absorption in the GI tract. And so I just wanted to make a video here today to encourage everyone. It's going to be the same old message. I don't have a kitchen. I'm kind of bummed out. I missed those videos, It's kind of like the show has gotten a little bit more like this with me doing this, but there's a lot of reasons for that. I'm looking for a kitchen right now. I'm down in Laguna. I'm looking for a condo, or something. I'm in this little room. It's the only one with a kitchen, and it's on the beach. I wanted to be on the beach, and it's really inexpensive. And then there's a little tiny kitchen over there, so I got that. But there's no filming is going to happen in that place at all, because like my juicer is on top of the stove, on top of the burners, because there is no counter space. So I'm going to be doing juices every day, which I recommend. If you want to lose weight and stuff, drink the juice every single day. If you want to lose weight, eat some good organic fruit, And if you want to lose some weight and get healthy, eat salads, Just slowly but surely start introducing these foods into your life and make a difference in your life. I've got a real mission here, and I don't have any specific, what is your specific issue? Whatever it is, you should cultivate health by eating better. And then, I was at the beach all day long, soaking up the sun. I had some work to do, but then I just went down there and hung out with these people and ate some raw food, and just feeling really good, because I'm so saturated by the power of the sun and the ocean and the fresh air, the sounds and the smells of nature. That's why I love Laguna. It's so powerful here, So anyways, I wanted to just make a quick video checking in. I'm really trying to get the jive back on this show. I went through a lot of stuff, and I had a lot of counseling and therapy and stuff, and it's like really made a big difference in how I just, it's funny because the raw foods will get you so clear, the healthier eating, that's what stops most people. They go back to the cooked, and they go back to the other lifestyle habits, because it's very difficult to maintain that constant evolution of awareness through having to deal with the things that are going to arise that you buried. And you did it with drugs, and you did it with sex, and you did it with relationships, and you did it with gambling, and you did it with food, and you buried that stuff. And as soon as you get more intentional about how you're going to live and wake up and be the best that you can be, you might, just like me. I'm coming to the end of making terms and coming to peace with things that were so far buried below me, that really the biggest thing that really made the biggest shift was maybe like 2 weeks ago. I called my dad. It's a trip. I don't know. And I apologized to him for for holding on to or blaming or criticizing him. And he was like, "What? You don't owe me an apology. You were just a kid." And I was just like, "Yeah, I do owe you an apology." And man, I'll tell you, I had night sweats that night, and the whole bed was so soaked that I could not believe. You know how you have sometimes you sweat and there's a little bit of sweat there? The whole bed was so wet. And all these years I thought I had mommy issues. And I always called my mom and I'm trying to, "Hey mom, tell me more, talk to me. Like, I forgive you, mom. Do you forgive me?" And all this. And then all of a sudden one day, after years and years of putting off calling my dad, that's when I had the biggest shift. So it was weird, and then Dave and Lou were both like, "Something happened to you, bro. You're different." I was like, "I don't know." I called my dad. I apologized. I made clear and complete with him. And the next thing I knew, I had night sweats and I was up at 4 in the morning and couldn't sleep. And then I've just been different. And I've just been coming, and it's slowly and surely every day. It's really hard to explain without getting overly, personal about how I don't mind the authenticity, but, sometimes it gets to be a bit much. But I know that people go through stuff. But I also know from my own experience, at least from where I was to where I am now, you can make peace with these things, your demons. And you can get that more energy flow going through you. More self-worth and all the little things that people go through. Don't do this and you're no good and we're this and this family's that and you're don't do this. It's just like all those little messages you get where your brain, the caretakers and the religions and the society and the government and the advertisements and the Saturday morning cartoons, they're not uplifting your brain with art and beauty. They're like drugging you up with programs that are just for consumerism and religiosity and dumbing down of your consciousness. And so you got to get real intentional and dig deep, and you got to go and find that inward journey, that treasure. And you got to start looking for the truth. What do we eat? What should human beings eat? And I went on that question for a long time, and I got to the point where I realized that every living enzyme in my food and high fiber and living water is going to be what goes into a water-based electrical being. So I've kind of really handled that business, but then that woke me up to, oh, your unconscious mind is filled with old programs that have repeated over and over and over again, and now you got to cut some new grooves. So that's essentially what I've been going through, is cutting new grooves as my layers came down over the years. Because in the beginning, what you saw was a life regenerator. Oh, I like the guy behind the RV. Well, what you saw right there was a dude whose defense mechanisms were so high that he had his shield up, but he wasn't able to really be fully authentic and have deep compassion and understanding for humans, because he himself wasn't even really willing to feel the pain. He was living from here up. And I think some people saw that. But then as soon as certain things started happening in my life, this started to open up. And I had to go through the process in which I still am, of it's like a trip, man, of these old feelings that arise of, so in other words, now I'm really embracing the fact that I am lovable, and we all are lovable. And we need to, some of us more than others need to embrace that. All of us need to embrace it. But some of us more than others need to know that we are lovable. That we are pure love. We are created from love. And we, as the essence of our being. We are basically love that's been compressed down into physical matter. We are just pure energy. And so what we condense and condense and condense and get heavier and heavier. That's why we eat the raw foods, do the fasting, and do that internal work and get rid of those heavier thoughts. Because there's certain thoughts that are heavy, then there's other thoughts that are illuminating and uplifting. That's where you want to have your mind, because that's where your heart's going to go. You want to keep that love alive. And so you have to be honest and true and real with yourself, and you have to really honor yourself in this life. You can't get stuck, You got to really stay in the love space and keep your mind in the right place by absorbing beauty and art and making sure you're turning your channel when you go over to the place where the zombies are and stuff. I know The Walking Dead is great, but still, it's like that kind of stuff. I mean, it's cool, but it's really like pain body stuff, and it's gonna mess up your head. Really, you might want to just be like, I mean, it's cool. You don't want to judge, because I know everybody likes to watch the movies and the violence, and it's cool. It depends on if you're aware, but you want to make sure, it depends on what phase you're in. It's not really a black and white thing, but you got to look at the underlying intention of certain things and make sure you're exposing your mind to those things that are uplifting and programming you for something better, programming you for something, that you're programming yourself for what you want to see happen in your life, because the negative thinking is what you're going to attract, and the positive thinking is what you're going to attract. You're going to attract what you're thinking. So you really want to make sure that your mind you are painting the canvas of your brain. You're painting the canvas of your unconscious mind, and you're absorbing and implementing what it is that you want to see created. Can you dig it, baby? So we'll go into more of that. It's law of attraction stuff, but it's really just the law of, the magnetics and vibrational universe that we are. You're going to magnetize and create what you're thinking, what you're holding in mind, And if it's below the radar, then all you got to do is look at your life and see, what am I thinking in my unconscious mind? Then you look at your life. And if your career and your health and your business and your life and your relationships aren't what you want them to be, then you got to start doing some wake up. And the wake up, I will tell you, the waking up, I'm not going to say that it is easy at all. It may be the hardest damn thing you ever do. And that's why people stay drunk and stay stoned and stay high on food and go from relationship to relationship and all this business, and they never deal with their crap. And gambling, and people overwork and they overexercise. So there's certain things that are more subtle. I don't do any of that crap. Oh yeah, you do. You spend 15 hours a day at the office and totally avoid your wife. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things we can do to become better human beings. And this is just a random DTM video. And I got to get out there and have some more adventure clips and stuff like that. I'm in Laguna Beach, loving life. Hope you are too. It's really late, and I had a long day in the sun, so that's why I'm just like, no, I'm not smoking. I'm just like, whoa, the sun just cooked me today, and I feel great, mellow. DTM, the house, baby, loving you. Peace.